from Kern Government Television. Welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting. Originating from the County Administrative Center, located at 1115 Truxton Avenue in Bakersfield, California. Grounded in ideas, energy, and innovation, Kern County's vision is to be a driving force for the world's fifth largest economy. And our mission is to exceed expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way they feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Good morning and welcome to the Tuesday, August 27th, 2024 regular meeting of the Board of Supervisors. First item is roll call.
Supervisor Peters.
Here.
Supervisor Flores.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Here.
Thank you. The next item is the flag salute, and we're going to do it slightly differently today. I'm going to ask Charles Shin, who is a regular attendee of our meetings, if he would like to lead us in the flag salute. We usually have a veteran do that, and Charles, you are a veteran. Tell us a little bit about your service to our country.
Good morning, Board. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
I served 30 years from 1974 to 2004. Some notable units that I served with. I served 10 years with 3rd Anglico, Forward Air Observer, Naval Gunfire, and Artillery. I was the first sergeant of 2nd Battalion, 23rd Marines, Headquarters and Service Company, and also Echo Company, First Sergeant. I was also the Sergeant Major of 4th Tank Battalion, and my final command was 4th LAD Battalion, Low Altitude Air Defense Battalion.
Sergeant Major is kind of a big deal, isn't it?
I think so.
Well, thank you for agreeing. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was getting ready to do the flag salute.
Well, thank you for agreeing to lead the flag salute today. At the conclusion of that, please remain standing for a moment of prayer, silence, and meditation. Thank you.
Thank you. Everybody stand, please. Remove your covers. Hand salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you for this honor.
Thank you, Mr. Shin. Appreciate it. And thank you for your service. Next is everybody's favorite pet of the week. So I'll ask Nick Cullen if he will come out. He's the Director of Animal Services, and tell us about this week's pet of the week.
Good morning. Chairman Couch, members of the board, our selected pet of the week, it says Mommy's Little Love. Our selected pet of the week is Willow. Willow's a 3-month-old mixed breed. She is a puppy. She's going to get a lot larger than this, so she's going to be a medium to large breed dog. And she's available for adoption right now at the Kern County Animal Shelter. She's been with us almost 3 weeks now.
Show them the back of this thing.
Yeah, she's available for adoption.
All right, well, let's find Willow for everyone, guys. Thank you. Take care.
Let's do that.
Okay. We have an interpreter this morning, available for anyone in the audience requiring translation of these proceedings from English to Spanish. Mr. Fernando Lopez, please come down to the podium so we can determine if your services are required. Good morning, sir.
Buenos días. Atrás en la mesa hay unos audífonos para las personas que si necesitan traducción, hay unos audífonos. Y también si tienen que dirigirse a los supervisores, también les puedo traducir cuando vengan para adelante. Gracias.
Thank you, Fernando. Our budget hearing procedure, this is what today's meeting is really all about, slightly different because we will begin by hearing items 1, 2, and 3 before considering the consent agendas. However, I'd like to read the consent agenda disclosure statement first. All items listed with a CA or a C above the item number are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff because they are funded 100% with federal, state, and/or other sources, or the department head has indicated that they concur with the county administrative office's recommended budget as printed and have no comment. The CA represents the consent agenda for the Board of Supervisors. These consent items will be considered last and may be approved by one motion. If a member of the audience wishes to comment or ask any questions regarding any item or items on the consent agenda, they may do so prior to a vote being taken on the consent agenda. A member of the board may remove any item from the consent agenda, and it will be considered in listed sequence with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the board concerning the item before action is taken. A member of the public may also comment on any closed session item. The C represents the consent agenda for the Kern Sanitation Authority, Ford City Taft Heights Sanitation District, and the In-Home Supportive Services Public Authority. These consent items will be considered at the conclusion of item number 3. So we're going to go back to consider items 1 and 2, which are public presentations, followed by board member announcements and reports. So item 1 is public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to comment or on any item that is not on the agenda today but is under the jurisdiction of the board. Try to keep our comments to 2 minutes. Is there anyone here that would like to make a public presentation? Yes, ma'am. Morning.
Good morning. My name is Abby Bolt, A-B-B-Y, B as in boy, O-L, T as in Tom. So I'd like to start off with a quick quote. There are 2 different types of leader. A person can either be like a thermometer or a thermostat. A thermometer will tell you what the temperature is, and a thermostat will not only tell you what the temperature is, but it will move you to the temperature that you need to be to achieve success. I was here not long ago when I shared with you the urgent need to address the Burrell Fire watershed to keep toxic debris out of the Bakersfield water system. I'm here again today as a Havilah resident and a community advocate to share with you some of the struggles and concerns that currently plague those who live in and near the Burrell Fire. Environmental rehab reports have all been completed. The experts have weighed in, though even without scientific evidence, your local subject matter experts already know the hazards a community is facing. Here's a scary detail, though, that many people don't realize. Funding to get the work done that all of those reports pointed out cannot even be applied for until the Burrell Fire is called 100% contained. So it's common practice to leave a large fire like that, 95%, 96, just keep going a little bit at a time until the snow flies because no one wants to have a rekindle. This is a special situation, and I'm hoping that fire managers up there think about it. They can't even apply for the funding to get the work done to prevent the flood devastation until it's contained, at which time they will have 7 days to apply and get that funding. The videos of helicopter 408, which I shared several of lately, 408 was literally saving babies. They were plucking families into the air to a safe space when the Paiute fire flood hit. That is one of the best visual reminders we could ever have. When it comes to wildfire prevention, it's hard to know where the next one will hit, where to put resources, where to spend money. But with the Burrell burn scar so clearly drawn on a map, we all know where a flood disaster is going to happen. Local agencies, no offense to all my friends that work at them, have no excuse to not be out in front of the rain season. Now is the time to act. We cannot wait until the red tape clears. Red tape kills more people than bullets. Should a thunderstorm hit today, the county would immediately have resources scrambling to respond. Sandbags would start filling, K-bar would be sprinkled throughout the roadways, but right now nothing's happening. We have great sunny days. I know we have resources available. There's a lot of red tape we need to cut through. So my biggest ask for our community is that we can see some work happening out there, because we're telling people that have private property, here's all the things you need to do on your property right now to protect your property from a flash flood. But all around us, nothing is happening. So I just ask for your help, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bolt. Yes, Supervisor Peters.
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you, Ms. Bolt, for coming and speaking today. And If you could, just make sure that you leave your contact information with my office. I think that they have it, but just to be sure, I would appreciate it. And then I will talk with our fire chief and other agencies about what the plan is, and just make sure that we're all on the same page. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other public presentations today? Seeing none, I'll go to board member announcements and reports. Seeing none of those, we'll go to the fiscal year 2024-2025 recommended budget. Over to you, Ms. Martinez.
That will be me. Well, good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Today we are presenting the fiscal year 24-25 recommended budget. This is the fourth meeting to discuss the budget for the county and the special districts under your board's authority. The fiscal year recommended budget exemplifies your board's and our county department's commitment to continuing strategic initiatives and priorities identified by the community. The fiscal year 24-25 recommended budget for all funds total $4.4 billion, an increase of $10 million or 0.23% from the fiscal year 23-24 adopted budget. The budget totals and supports a workforce of 8,860 authorized positions. Each line and every allocation on the $4.4 billion budget tells a story of the vision of Kern County future. From strategic initiatives in public safety, park improvements, education through our libraries, and economic development, to supporting prudent, sustainable allocations. This year's budget continues to enhance services for residents of unincorporated communities with Measure K funds, making significant investments in public safety and infrastructure. Additionally, aided with state and federal funds, the budget allocates funds to improve roads, enhance behavioral health and substance use services, and provides increased social services and support for the most vulnerable county residents. And while we face challenges ahead, we are confident that this budget will bolster our efforts to achieve ongoing fiscal sustainability and ensure that our financial practices are sound, our economic future is secure, and our community thrives. As I mentioned in prior year, when it comes to the budget, not all funding is alike. Federal and state and some of our locally generated revenue must be used for specific programs. Listed here are some of the departments that receive funding for very specific purposes. Our Behavioral Health and Recovery Services Department is one of the departments that will see significant changes in the coming fiscal years. And while Proposition 1 includes up to $6.4 billion in bonds to build new behavioral health treatment beds and supported housing, as well as outpatient capacity to help and serve people experiencing homelessness, it also redirects approximately 30% of existing funding currently used to provide vital services to community members. The change in funding is mandated to be fully transitioned by 2026. And during this fiscal year budget, behavioral health will begin to shift funding and plan for this transition. The department will continue to evaluate the system of care for opportunities to improve outcomes, improve access to care, the quality of care, and cost effectiveness for care. In addition, this fiscal year, the department efforts will include the expansion of crisis stabilization units in response to increased demand for both voluntary and involuntary services, and is planning full implementation of Care Core and SB 43, which expanded the definition of gravely disabled to include severe substance use disorders. Moving to our general fund, which is the main county fund used to account for all revenue and expenses. The general fund for fiscal year 24-25 totals $1.3 billion, and this includes the second year of Measure K funding in the amount of $58 million. And while your board has some level of discretion on some of the programs in the general fund, the county is mandated to provide many programs, especially in public protection category, such as criminal justice through our district attorney, public defender, and indigent defense. Jail and juvenile detention facilities, adult and juvenile supervision to our probation department, just to mention a few. And in this slide, while our general government accounts for 22% of the general fund budget, it includes approximately $118 million to fund capital and major maintenance projects. In a few minutes, Alice Alba will provide an overview of the projects that were included in this year's budget. So, as I mentioned, this year's budget includes investment funded by Measure K to meet the priorities identified by the communities. Similar to cities like McFarland, Ridgecrest, and Tehachapi that also approved an additional 1% sales tax, the voters approved the collection of 1% sales tax in unincorporated areas of the county. Our goal is to invest primarily on unincorporated communities that are contributing to the increased sales tax. So this coming fiscal year, we have 6 new initiatives totaling $3.2 million funded with Measure K, and it includes investment of the care of upkeep of various county parks, emergency road repairs, at-risk youth enrichment activities, enhanced treatment setting for uncustody youth, and enhanced spay and neuter mobile clinic in unincorporated Kern County. The proposed budget also includes funding to address the community priorities by enhancing public safety, addressing mental health and addiction challenges, recruiting and retaining qualified public safety personnel, preserving library services, and setting aside contingencies for economic downturn. $48.4 million of additional investments are included in the recommended budget funded with Measure K. So this graph shows the Measure K funding allocation by department, with the fire department receiving 46% of this year's allocation. Overall, public safety will receive approximately 86%. And I want to highlight that each department is required to provide outcomes, and we have those listed quarterly on our dashboard available on the county website. And you'll see the investments that we're doing financially, but also the outcomes that each department is achieving. And I can tell you, fire department, with their safety units and their emergency response from day one, they were able to save lives. So those are the investments we're making in our community. There are many more investments detailed through the pages of the recommended budget. Some of the investments include covering the increased safety retirement costs of approximately $6.3 million to ensure that no reduction in funded public safety personnel are necessary to cover this increased cost. Covering a portion of the increased costs associated with the recently approved probation officer memorandum of understanding. And then we are currently negotiating with our largest employee labor group, and the recommended budget sets aside funds to ensure that we can provide competitive and sustainable salary increases to the best of our ability while balancing competing demands. We are also funding two positions for the crime lab to ensure that results are timely. And your board has supported the Sheriff's Office efforts to fill vacant positions to ensure resources are available throughout the county. Efforts to improve staffing ratios in vital patrol and detention positions have been fueled by efforts through the Sheriff's Office and our Human Resources Division. The fiscal year recommended budget for this year funds an additional 42 patrol positions and 26 detention positions when compared to last year's adopted budget. Funding to cover vehicle acquisitions is also included in the recommended budget, as well as backfill for the revenue loss associated with the city of Wasco transitioning to their own police workforce. And due to the current condition of the sheriff's substation and the distance to the nearest facility, an allocation of $2 million is recommended for the replacement of this facility. As I mentioned before, shelters nationwide are being strained by the high number of animals without a home. Animal services is not exempt, and that's why spay and neuter is so important. Combined with the allocation of Measure K, the recommended budget includes over $1 million for these efforts. One of the new items after the July presentation included in the recommended budget is the allocation of $5 million for the replacement of a fire helicopter. Fires in the mountain communities are becoming very destructive. The existing equipment is at the end of the useful life, and assisted with federal funding last year, we included the replacement of one helicopter, but one is not enough. The $1 million it will help the department secure a second helicopter. In addition, an allocation of $20,000 is included for a septic system education program. And the last item on this list, we are currently funding programs such as safe camping, extended hours at the libraries, rapid response to assist homelessness individuals, and housing at Hope of Heart with one-time American Rescue Act funds that are set to expire December 2026. The recommended budget begins to set aside funds to ensure sufficient resources are available to continue those services. So these are just a few of the investments included in the recommended budget. As I mentioned, equipment and infrastructure are essential to the long-term quality of services provided to our residents. Mr. Alex Alba will go over some of the investment in capital projects and major maintenance included in the recommended budget.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Today I will be discussing the major maintenance and capital projects that are maintained by General Services Division. The fiscal year 24-25 recommended budget included 154 countywide projects with a total cost of $167.3 million. Approximately 66% of this total makes up the projects that are maintained by General Services, and the other 34% are made up of the projects that are maintained by Public Works and airports. The projects I will be focusing on today and discussing are the projects maintained by General Services. This slide displays the increase in number of projects and magnitude that are maintained by General Services over the years. Included in fiscal year 24-25 recommended budget is approximately $38 million in capital projects, and existing projects approved in previous fiscal years continued in the amount of $27.8 million. This slide displays the major maintenance projects included in the fiscal year 24-25 recommended budget of approximately $79.7 million, and existing major maintenance project approved in previous fiscal years continued in the amount of $22.3 million. These projects are primarily funded through grants and other non-general fund sources of approximately $40 million. Annually, the General Services Division reviews and develops a list of all major maintenance projects requested by departments, which is evaluated and used to prepare a final list of projects recommended for funding based on overall evaluation of relative budget needs and financial capabilities. The evaluation criteria used includes factors such as legal mandates, health and safety concerns, preventative maintenance concerns, cost reduction impacts, concerns heard from our community, and offsetting revenue and special funding are also considered when prioritizing projects requested for funding consideration. Capital projects includes funds for land and facility purchases, new construction projects such as the fire stations or sheriff substations, and major building alterations and expansion for county departments such as behavioral health and probation facility expansions. These projects help ensure that neighborhoods are safe for residents to live, work, and play, and support environments that foster viable, livable communities. Each project requires collaboration and strategic planning to orchestrate and complete these projects. That collaboration includes individuals from departments such as the sheriff's office or the fire department, and individuals from within our own office. Julia Carlson, who assisted the library department, secured over $12.8 million in grant funding from the California State Library for infrastructure improvements. In fiscal year 24-25, General Services Division will maintain over 147 projects, which includes $1.5 million in total that is allocated to your board for continued investment and commitment to improvements in your districts. Approximately 62% of the 147 projects are currently in the design phase. It is estimated that 59% of these projects will be completed in fiscal year 24-25, and 41% of the projects will continue and carry over into future fiscal years. In addition to the upcoming changes, last fiscal year, the department completed construction of 2 new psychiatric health facilities, expanding capacity for inpatient hospitalization by 32 beds for adults and children. Fiscal year 24-25 will be the first full fiscal year that this facility will be operational. The department is now in the design phase of a new youth crisis stabilization unit and family resource center that will be built at the adjacent lot to the new psychiatric health facilities. This new facility is grant funded with construction expected to begin this fiscal year. Also included in prior was the purchase of a new coroner facility, as the previous building was no longer adequate for the needs of the department and required significant improvements. Major projects in fiscal year 24-25 include the design of a Rosemont substation and the replacement of animal services facility. The existing animal services facility was not built to be a shelter and creates many operation and potential health safety issues. The project is currently in the design phase, and the goal is to build the facility as soon as possible. In fiscal year 23-24, $9.5 million Measure K allocation was included in the recommended budget to relocate Station 11 from Keene to Hart Flat to position Station 11 closer to the community area it serves and repurpose the current Keene station to support wildland fire operations year-round. It is anticipated that construction on Station 11 will start in fiscal year 24-25 and be completed in fiscal year 25-26. Included in the 24-25 recommended budget are development and construction of new parks and recreation facilities and numerous improvements throughout the county. This list includes improvements to Bell Terrace Park, Boron, Rosemont Park, Leroy Jackson, Petroglyph Park, Lamont Park, Strambler, Panorama, Potomac, and Fuller Acres. Included in the fiscal year 23-24 budget was the continued work and completion of the Lake Isabella Randall Skate Park. This project included the installation, as seen on the slide, of concrete skate park, ADA walkways, and parking within Lake Isabella. In addition to the numerous park improvement projects, there are also numerous improvements included in the fiscal year 24-25 recommended budget for library facilities. There are improvements budgeted for 17 branches with a total of $13.4 million. 2 projects have been completed and are pending final closeout. 6 projects are in construction and 9 projects are in design. During fiscal year 24-25, General Services will continue to renovate and improve park facilities with American Rescue Plan Act funding. This year's budget includes over $28 million in ARPA funding for investments in parks that would not only improve the physical appearance of our parks, but will create spaces for social interactions to support the physical and mental health of our residents. Unfortunately, General Services must also be quick to react and repair facilities and parks due to damages. Our county has endured several devastating disasters, which include multiple successive storms and most recently, the Boreal Fire. This year's budget includes $7 million in disaster recovery projects. This amount does not include the roads projects that are handled by Public Works. These projects would not be possible without the General Services construction team, which is responsible for the overall management, coordination of planning, budget, and design of the projects, and is committed to completing projects on time and on budget. So I wanted to say thank you to the construction team and the entire construction team, and especially Michelle Burns-Lusage. This concludes my remarks, and I will turn it back to Ms. Martinez for final comments.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. We are pleased to note that all departments are in concurrence with their budget as presented. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank all county departments and their staff for their collective contribution to the budget development. And I want to give special thanks to my team in the county administrative office and recognize their unmatched professionalism, expertise, and dedication to our county residents, especially in the last 6 months. This concludes my prepared remarks. I'll be happy to answer any questions at this time. Your department heads are here, available to answer questions as well. And at this time, it will be appropriate for your board to open the budget hearings and receive public comment.
May I ask if the board members have any questions before we open that up? Don't see any. Okay. So we'll open the public hearing and ask for, if there are public comments on the recommended budget which includes, what we're talking about here is item 7 on page 3 through item 95 on page 8. Is there anyone here that would like to make a comment on any of those items on the consent agenda? Mr. Lane, welcome.
I'm not sure this is the right time. This is about item CA 29. Is that the right time?
Yes, it is.
Okay, then I have a handout. I'm Eddie Lane, this morning working for the Sierra Club. I'm here to talk about item 8540 regarding the allocation of $101,000 in general funds to off-highway vehicle site planning. Our overriding concern, why use Kern County taxpayer dollars for planning when the only site previously publicly noted by Kern County General Services borders Pozo Creek, a site which is clearly inappropriate for an off-road vehicle park. On numerous occasions, Sierra Club has reviewed serious issues of concern regarding this location. One example was our lengthy September 13, 2023 letter reviewing findings from the biological firm hired by Kern County. On this site are federally protected species such as Bakersfield cactus, western burrowing owl, loggerhead shrike, horned lark, San Joaquin kit foxes, and golden eagles. In addition, the engineering report indicated that on this property there are operating oil wells, Chevron has surface rights of entry, BLM has mineral rights to 480 acres, and Chevron has mineral rights to the other 307 acres. What is missing is there's no record of testing for valley fever spores on this property, nor any indication of concern for protecting Pozo Creek. More recently, a response from County Council to an August 2nd, 2024 Public Records Act request to General Services resulted in 7 attachments with notations that many records have been, in quote, redacted to remove attorney-client privileged materials. Most of what was received were blank pages, such as the one I'm holding up. So this is mainly what I got, blank pages from the California Public Records Act request. When those requests are made to the Planning Department or to the Sheriff's Department, responses are received directly from them and not from County Council. So I'm submitting a request today, I did today, to County Council directly. In the emails that were received, there was one email from Deputy Planning Department Director to Isaac Preston of General Services. That email read, "It really doesn't matter what is on the application. It really doesn't matter what's on the application. So why would Kern County fund planning on an application that really doesn't matter? Wouldn't Kern County general funds be better spent on planning to reestablish a standalone Parks and Recreation Department and update the outdated 2010 Parks and Recreation Master Plan as has been recommended by our chair, Stephen Montgomery, and that letter is attached. Thank you for your time."
Thank you, Mr. Lane. Any other public comments on the consent agenda items 7 through 95? How many of you would like to speak? If you would like to speak, please come down to the front row so we can get you to the microphone quickly. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Sandra Melgoza Plasencia, and I am a current policy advocate with Leadership Council for Justice and Accountability. Thank you for the opportunity to provide comments. We did submit a longer comment last night with, it entails all of what we wanted to discuss, so I will not go through the whole thing.
We have it.
Oh, okay, perfect, thank you. Just wanted to highlight some of the recommendations that we had from our budget letter, and also wanted to mention that we wrote this letter in collaboration with Clean Water Action. Jesus Alonso is here, and as well as Greenfield Walking Group, and of course, Vecinos Unidos Jamás Serán Vencidos. But starting off with the community of Fuller Acres, we strongly urge the county to think about adding additional funding for a septic system repair, maintenance, and replacement system as an interim solution while the community of Fuller Acres connects their wastewater with Lamont PUD. Additionally, residents also asked for a traffic feasibility study. Folks in Fuller Acres have asked for traffic safety mitigation measures for a few years now, including sidewalks, speed humps, extra signage, and most of that hasn't been available due to the lack of infrastructure and investment in that community for the last few decades. So we asked the county to set aside some funding for a traffic feasibility study so we can identify how to actually make the streets safer. While we are out in the community, we often see folks speeding up and down, at times trying to hit, children. So we really want to ensure that folks are safe when it comes to this community. As for the folks that live on Fairfax and Shirley Lane, which are in District 5, I'm not going to go in detail, but we did submit a long list asking for safe routes to school, sidewalks, speed humps, hawk systems, a four-way stop on Mayfair and Marion, streetlights, emergency water bottles as an interim solution. And then also a construction of a park. And the community has located an ideal parcel. This is parcel 1730914, which is the parcel for Shirley Lane Elementary. There's an empty lot right next to it. We asked that the county start maybe talking to the school to see if they can possibly buy the lot and create a pocket park in the future. As for the community of Greenfield, we simply ask for more infrastructure investments, as in safe routes to school, to ensure that kids in the Greenfield area also are able to safely walk to and from school. And lastly, wanted to highlight some housing elements, programs that we have uplifted in the past, such as rehab and weatherization, a permanent rental assistance, a right to counsel, community land trust, an affordable housing trust fund, and maximum indoor air temperature threshold. These are all either mobility strategies or place-based strategies under the AFFH memo from HCD. As you all know, the county is currently out of compliance with their housing element, and we urge the county to set aside funding to ensure that y'all reach compliance as soon as possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandra. Any other speakers? You need to translate. We need translation. Thank
Mi
you.
nombre es Laura Vargas.
My name is Laura Vargas.
Buenos días a todos ustedes.
Good morning to everyone.
Morning.
Buenos días.
Y vengo una vez más para hablar de que necesitamos las banquetas para los niños en
I'm
la
here
comunidad.
once again to bring up the fact that we need sidewalks for the children in the community of
Vengo con la comunidad de la Shirley Lane.
the community of Shirley Lane.
Y quería decirle que ahorita no ha llovido
Okay. I would like to add that as of so far it has not rained.
y es peligroso todavía porque los carros se estacionan en las orillas
It's still very dangerous though because the cars they park on the side
y los niños tienen que caminar por el medio de la calle.
and the children they must walk in the middle of the street.
Entonces necesitamos esas banquetas, por favor.
So I would
Porque
so
cuando
please
llueve-
request that we need those sidewalks because when it rains,
Están los charcos por todos los lados y los
There's-
niños tienen que caminar por la calle otra vez.
puddles of water everywhere and the children must walk through that.
Y por favor les pido eso, que pongan atención en ese lugar porque es muy peligroso. Los niños
Okay.
van en bicicleta y se cruzan.
I request you pay special attention to that area because the children, when they ride their bikes, they must cross through there.
Y por favor les quiero pedir que pongan atención en eso.
Please pay attention to that.
Y el 4 stop que pedimos por la Mayfair y la Marion.
Mayfair, ¿qué?
Y la Marion.
And also we request a four-way stop on Mayfair and Marion.
Sí, por favor.
Please.
Eso sería todo por hoy.
That will be all for today.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Victorio Ramírez.
My name is Victor Ramirez.
Morning.
Buenos días.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yo me encuentro por la Shirley Lane.
I live off of Shirley Lane.
Yo vengo representando ahí.
I represent that community.
4815, ahí vivo.
9815?
4815.
4898.
4815.
4815, that's where I live.
Y pues lo único que ya vine una vez a pedir que sí, pues me hacen, represento que yo vengo pidiendo el drenaje nada más, digo.
I've been here before and I'm here again requesting infrastructure for the drainage once again.
El drenaje porque pues las aguas, usted sabe que todo el drenaje se va al pozo de agua.
The water, you know, all the water goes to the pozo de agua,
Los veneros corren,
the
suerve todo y pues el agua no
the
está
water
buena.
runs into puddles. It's not right.
El agua no es buena, no es buena el agua.
That
Ahorita está
water
muy,
is no good.
no, bueno. Eso es lo único que vengo a pedirle que,
That's all I'm here to request.
pues, nada más que si me oyen, pues a ver qué se puede hacer, es todo.
If you can listen to me and see what you can do, please. That's all.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gracias a usted.
Buenos días.
Good morning.
Mi nombre es Livia Morales
My name is Livia Morales.
y vengo a pedir, por favor, nos apoyen
I'm here to request your support
con las banquetas.
with sidewalks.
Necesitamos también un parque
We also need a park.
y personalmente yo me he caído porque no hay buenas banquetas, hay mucha tierra.
Personally, I have fallen. The sidewalks are not in good condition. There's nothing but dirt.
Este domingo,
This past Sunday,
un carro se resbaló y fue a chocar en el cerco de mi vecina porque es mucha tierra.
a car lost control, it skidded and it crashed into one of my neighbor's fences because of all the dirt.
Y sí da mucho miedo.
And it causes a lot of fear.
Personalmente yo me he caído y mis 3 hijas se han caído.
I, along with my 3 daughters, have personally fallen.
Ahorita que está seco puede uno un poquito caminar, pero cuando llueve hay muchos charcos de agua.
Right now it's dry. You can sort of walk through there, but when it rains, it just turns into a big giant puddle of water.
Y por favor les pedimos que nos apoyen
Please, we request your support,
y esperemos que nos apoyen.
and we hope to receive your support.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Buenos días,
Good morning.
Morning.
mi nombre es María Sandoval.
My name is Maria Sandoval.
Yo vengo de la misma comunidad
I'm here from the same community.
y vengo a pedir el 4 stop.
I'm here to request a 4-way stop sign.
Ya fueron a poner unos cables
They've already been out there and installed some cables
para medir qué tanto corrían,
to measure the
qué tanto tráfico había,
a traffic survey.
pero cuando los pusieron estaban en vacaciones de la escuela.
But when they were installed there, the school was out on vacation.
Tenemos 4 escuelas alrededor en esta área.
We have 4 schools in the surrounding area.
Es mucho el tráfico que pasa.
There's a high volume of traffic that passes through there.
Se satura la calle principal.
The main street gets saturated.
Empiezan a rodear por alrededor de esta
They
calle.
start driving to the flanks or to the side of the street.
Todos quieren pasar al mismo tiempo
Everyone wants to pass at the same time.
y ha habido varios choques ahí.
And there have been several accidents that have occurred there.
Y pues también venimos a pedir el parque para los niños
And well, we're also here to request a park for the children.
y pues ocupamos lo mismo, el drenaje, las calles.
And we need the same thing,
Las
the
banquetas.
infrastructure, the streets, the sidewalks.
Es todo. Gracias.
That's all, thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias a usted.
I have a handout too for the board members. And it's not a lot of information, it's just mainly the map for our community. And I just want to mention that I did a research, and that is the nearest park is 3.5 miles from our community, and it will take over an hour for someone to walk to the nearest park. I have time to do my speech this time. Last time I was just talking, but now I type it in the morning, and you guys also have it on the back of your picture. Just good morning.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Can you give us your name?
Jesus Rodriguez.
Thank you.
Good morning, esteemed board members, supervisors, community leaders, and fellow residents. My name is Jesus Rodriguez. I live at the house on 1400 Marion Drive here in Bakersfield, California. I would like to begin by expressing my heartfelt gratitude for the opportunity to speak before you today. Your dedication to our community and your willingness to listen to our ideas and concerns is truly commendable. I have observed how you respond to wisdom, knowledge, counsel, and understanding, so I pray that my speech will be pleasant to the ear. I want to recognize two of you for responding to the people's call. First, Supervisor Leticia Perez, for the involvement with my community, Shirley Lane, Fairfax. Fairfax means beautiful, and even though it might not look so beautiful yet, its people are beautiful residents who love you and will always welcome you with a smile and hope for a better community. They are so happy to see a government official after so many years of enduring hardships and have no one to listen to them. So we are really grateful for your response and representation. With the times of your visits, our community is more united than ever, and new connections and friendships were born out of those meetings. Second, I want to recognize Supervisor Coach. You definitely give honor to your name. The second day we came here, we got some devices installed on the streets to measure traffic. However, I would like to ask that please, they will be installed again now that we have back-to-school traffic, so the decision-making parties can have a more accurate data. And if it's possible, to be placed in Marion, Mayfair, and Simons, since cars accelerate from 0 to the moon between Simons and Shirley Lane. It seems like some of the drivers believe they are entering the freeway just to stop right in front of the Shirley Lane School. I'm here to present an exciting proposal that I believe will greatly benefit our community and enhance the quality of life of our residents. We are fortunate to have an empty lot next to Shirley Lane Elementary School, which I believe holds immense potential for creating a beautiful and functional public park. This park will not only provide a safety and enjoyable space for our children to play, but also serve as a hub for community activities promoting health, wellness, and social interaction. When I live in Oxnard, California, there was a park next to the school. Both school and community share the park. I'm not gonna share the benefits, you already have it written there. I'm just gonna go straight to the conclusion to save time. And in conclusion, I urge the board to consider this proposal and support our vision of transforming the empty lot into a vibrant and thriving public park. That you help us remove the obstacles, and with your wisdom and knowledge, and that you provide us with the proper recommendations so we can take the next step in our quest for a better quality of life and dignity. Together, we can create a space that not only enhances our community's well-being, but also leaves a lasting legacy for future generations. Thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to work with you and make this dream a reality.
Thank you, sir. Any other speakers today? So I know Supervisor Perez took some notes, as did I, and we'll pass those on to the appropriate departments.
Is that group done? If so, I'd like to say.
I think so. Is there anyone here that would like to make are there any further public comments? Don't see any. Would you like to?
Supervisor Couch, thank you. Chair Couch, thank you. Well, first of all, Jesus, I would like to say that you are a very, very extraordinary young man. Your whole team, you guys really are special, and it's compelling what you are doing. The organizing, the time that it takes to put something like this together, and so heartfelt and with such a right attitude and spirit to come before the board. I just think you're just so talented. It's stunning. Couple things. So if you have looked at all the Bell Terrace Park area next to the MLK school, we have invested multiple rounds of what we call CDBG funding into that. That's separate money that's here. That's money from the feds. It's based on a calculation of poverty within your district, and you get allocated. It's a simple calculation. Well, half of those funds for the 5th district have been held up in what is an iBank loan for the last 15 years. From the previous supervisor, from me, Supervisor Michael Rubio, who did an incredible job of very creatively investing into these kind of infrastructure projects, but this was in Lamont. So for the last 15 years, our office has been paying back that loan. In the last few years, Supervisor Couch had to pick that up because the district's changed, and we have been held up on that. I am incredibly excited that My loan is about to be paid off next year. And the funds to invest into a project of this nature will come online here in the next month, which is in the next year, which is very exciting. And I know we talked about this briefly out at Shirley Lane, but the more and more you're here, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, and in particular, how reasonable and sound your asks are. I really think we're onto something very, very special here. We'll discuss it in 2 weeks when we come back, because we have to give you an update. We've met with the water company twice in the last 2 weeks, as well as our own water district. So we are making major progress on that, so I need to bring you guys up to speed on that. But the park next to the school, very exciting. There's separate park money, there's separate funding opportunities for that don't exist in today's budget. So a couple things. We're gonna come out and see you in a couple of weeks. And we're gonna talk about the park next to the school, because I think that's absolutely the essential building block of a successful school and a community, is that communal green space. And you know, if you don't have access to green space or a park within a mile, your lifespan is dramatically reduced in quality of life. I mean, it's very scientific, it's easy to calculate, and these are very justifiable investments into a community for public safety, for the development of community, et cetera, et cetera. So I just wanted, that's a lot to say. You are absolutely brilliantly organized. Sandra, you guys have done an exceptional job. You make very compelling case. This is a project that we really can do. It's totally feasible. If you see what we're doing at the Bell Terrace area, where it's a major economic development project, because if we can invest in the infrastructure and have safety be real, right, you're gonna drive up the property values, you're gonna have a different mix of a population that's more stable, frankly. We know that's a big, high renting population, which just makes the dynamic a little more complicated in long-term sustainable progress. So I just want to say, this is incredible. This is totally doable. I think it's going to happen, and I want to congratulate you on being organized brilliantly, and to say there are funding pots here that we're going to focus on as we look at redeveloping this community, lifting it up, you know, rising tide lifts all boats kind of stuff. But I want to also thank you for the nature of your presentation here today. It's incredibly respectful, compelling, and I think in a spirit of cooperation. So thank you. Chair, that's all.
Thank you. Any other public speakers today, or commenters on the consent agenda, rather? Okay, seeing none, I'll return it to the board and ask for a motion on the consent items 7 through 95, and to adjourn as the Board of Supervisors and to reconvene as the Kern Sanitation Authority.
Motion. Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Okay, this is a little confusing today, but we're now sitting as the Kern Sanitation Authority. That takes us back to page 2, item 4, which is the consent agenda for the budget unit 9144 under the Kern Sanitation Authority. Is there anyone here that would like to make a comment on that item or that consent agenda under the Kern Sanitation Authority? That's okay. We don't get very many comments on the consent agenda for the Kern Sanitation Authority. So I'll return to the board and ask for a motion on the consent agenda and to adjourn as the Kern Sanitation Authority and reconvene as the Ford City Taft Heights Sanitation District.
So moved. Second.
Discuss your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you. We're now sitting as the Ford City Taft Heights Sanitation District to consider item C5. And I'll ask for public, if there's anyone here who'd like to make a comment on that particular item, which is the consent agenda. Seeing none, I'll return it to the board and ask for a motion on that item, C5, and to adjourn as Ford City Taft Heights Sanitation District and reconvene as the In-Home Supportive Services Public Authority.
So moved.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you. We're now sitting as the In-Home Supportive Services Public Authority to consider item C6, which is that consent agenda. And I ask for any public comment on that item. Seeing none, I'll return to the board and ask for a motion on that item and to adjourn as the In-Home Supportive Services Public Authority and reconvene as the Board of Supervisors.
Motion. Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Okay, we're back sitting as the Kern County Board of Supervisors, and we're going to consider consent agenda for budget items I'm sorry.
Chairman?
Didn't we already take, did we
You
already
did
took that?
that. You
Okay.
did that. So we're going to move on to item 96.
Sorry, thank you. So I'm going to ask Ms. Martinez if she would like to make a presentation on item 96.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to add a few comments based on the public comment. I want to make sure that the public is aware that just because an item is not on the agenda doesn't mean we're not working on it. There's a lot of needs in our community. We have a county with a lot of needs, and we try to balance those needs when we present the budget to your board. But that doesn't mean that we don't have an opportunity to review the request, to work with our county departments, and more importantly, to try to get outside funding. We have been very successful with grants, and my commitment is to continue that as we move, we implement this budget. I think we have great opportunities in the county. There's available funding both at the federal and state level. Tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I'll be meeting with Cal OES to go over available funding for the Burrell Fire. We're going to be working with the state and federal agencies to try to secure funding for that community. Again, lots of needs, lots of work that we have to continue doing. I'm happy to hear Supervisor Perez mention that there's great opportunities with CDBG, with the housing element. There's a lot of the program that Ms. Oviatt included in the housing element that we're gonna be working on. So just because we adopt a budget and it doesn't include the item doesn't mean we're gonna stop working. We're gonna continue working. We're gonna see grant opportunities. We're gonna work with all our departments to see what we can do to help our community that has lots of needs across the entire county. So in order to close the budget today, I'm gonna read some recommended actions your board would need to take. And the first one is to close the public hearing and adopt the resolution approving the 24-25 budget for the County of Kern. You will also be adopting the resolution approving the fiscal year 24-25 for employer training resources and community development programs. And finally, your board will adopt the resolution amending the salary ordinance found in Appendix B, summary of positions, addition and deletions, and refer the matter to Human Resources Division to amend the departmental positions and salary schedule. This recommendation may be approved by your board in one action by motion to move on staff's recommendation.
Thank you. Is there anyone here that would like to make a comment on item 96? Seeing none, I'll ask for him. Supervisor Flores, you punched in.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't mean to get ahead of the public, so I'll wait to see if anyone from the public wants to speak.
Would you like to make a motion on item 96?
Sure.
On the staff's recommendation?
Sure, and I have some comments too.
Okay. So we have a motion. Need a second?
Yeah.
You want to make your comments now?
Yeah, if there's no one from the public.
There's no one
Okay.
wanted to make.
So thank you, Elsa, CAO, for those remarks about the work that the county does on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, irrespective of the budget and concurrent with the budget, which points out to a number of things. One is I used to represent that area on the Kern High Board of Trustees near Miramonte, and so the needs are great. But I want to also remind, this is for the greater public that's sitting back and they might be viewing it in a different way. They might be viewing this as neglectful, but I want to remind everyone involved that this is a rural area, that planning standards were different back then. Nowadays, our development standards require that neighborhoods pay for their sidewalks, neighborhoods pay for parks. I do it, my father has done it, our friends have done it, we've all done it. So we have these legacy gaps here that have just been created. So, it's not no one's fault, and I appreciate everyone's advocacy, but everyone has to be patient because we're basically filling in step by step things for the community that were never paid for. Okay, so I just want to press upon that fact for those that are watching to make sure that they don't say, well, the county this, the county that. Well, the county is actually going over and beyond by fixing and addressing those needs, number one. Two, I'd like to thank you, your staff, our department heads. There's great projects that have been in the budget. Our psychiatric facilities, our libraries, our department heads are doing a good job, so thank you. And I would be remiss by not pointing out something that happened yesterday with the ERA CRC merger, which is a part of a bigger discussion because of state impositions on oil, an adverse administration, and a climate. That our budget could be that much better, that much more robust if the government would just let Kern County do its job and do what we do best. And my heart goes out to those families that have been laid off, 69 people. We will weather this. I think our board remains unified and committed to standing up for our industries and our sectors. So we have a good budget, but it could be that much better if the government would just let us do our job and do our economy and do our industries the right way. So I'd like to make a motion to adopt the budget.
We didn't have an existing motion?
Oh, I'm sorry, motion.
Did we or not? I'm
I
not
I had a
sure.
motion.
You
I just need a
did, and
second.
that's- so you don't need
He
to-
underlined and reiterated his motion.
Okay, very good. If I could, Chair, just
Yes.
for a moment, I'm really excited to see the fruition of Measure K and its contributions to, first and foremost, public safety and our county family that carries that burden. But I think, it is proving to be a salvaging tool and a way for us to really set some priorities for the county, which are consistent with the public's interests and needs and with what we know is critical for the well-being of Kern County. So again, I want to tip my hat to our sheriff and those who were on the front lines of making Measure K a reality. I know SEIU played a big role in helping that and bring that to fruition. It's been critical for the county. It was a hard one, but it's really proving to be important. And I think it can potentially really grow, a pot of funds for Kern County. Again, thank you for your team's work. I think it was a great presentation. I really enjoyed hearing from you today. And I loved seeing that picture of the team at the end. I thought that was a nice touch from the faces and hands that actually do the work and are improving lives for Kern County. So thank you very much. That's all, Chair.
Did that include a second? I don't know. I don't think we have one yet.
Okay, I'll second for the third time.
Okay. All right. Supervisor Peters, got any comment? I'll just say, pretty tough to get a $4.4 billion budget put together all on consent. I really appreciate all the department heads, all the way down, the analysts, everybody who's involved in this. Elsa, you always make this go about as smoothly as it could possibly go. So I appreciate you guys very much. So we have a motion and a second on staff's recommendation for item 96. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you. We also have some department requests to consider, which are listed on consent. Those are items 97 through 105, but 103 has been withdrawn, will not be considered today. Is there anyone here that would like to make a comment on any of those consent agenda items? Seeing none, I'll return it to the board and ask for a motion on items 97 through 105, with the exception of 103, which has been withdrawn.
So moved.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thanking you all. We have no additional items to consider. I will entertain a motion to adjourn to closed session, but I will let you know that we will have, our next meeting is Tuesday, September 10th at 9 a.m.
Motion to adjourn.
Without objection, we're adjourned. Thank you.